It was a beautiful September morning in 1900. Galveston, Texas, the jewel of the Gulf, was booming. Elegant homes, busy streets, and a thriving port made it one of America's richest cities. But no one knew that, far out in the Gulf of Mexico, a monster was growing. By nightfall, Galveston would face a storm so deadly that it would wipe out an entire city and change U.S. history forever. Weather forecasts were primitive in 1900. The U.S. Weather Bureau didn't fully trust reports from Cuban meteorologists who had warned of a hurricane heading toward the Gulf. So, most people believed, at worst, it was just a tropical storm. Families went about their day, children played outside, and tourists watched the waves roll in. But by afternoon, the wind picked up, and the ocean began to rise in ways no one had ever seen before. By the evening of September 8, 1900, the hurricane struck full force. Winds screamed at over 130 miles per hour, strong enough to rip buildings from their foundations. Then came the storm surge, a wall of water 15 feet high. It swallowed homes, streets, and people. Families fled to higher floors, only to be trapped as the water kept rising. One survivor wrote, "The air was full of flying debris, boards, roofs, and bodies. We heard the cries of our neighbors, and then silence." By midnight, Galveston was completely underwater. When the storm finally passed, nothing was left. More than 3,600 homes were destroyed. Between 6,000 and 12,000 people were dead. The stench of death filled the air. Survivors were forced to burn the bodies to stop disease from spreading. Children searched for parents. Families buried loved ones in the sand. A city that had once been full of life had become a graveyard. But Galveston refused to vanish. Engineers designed a massive seawall, nearly 17 feet high and over 10 miles long, to protect the city from future storms. They also raised entire buildings, some weighing thousands of tons, by pumping sand underneath. It was one of the greatest engineering projects of its time. Yet, despite these efforts, Galveston never returned to its former glory. Houston, safer inland, became Texas's main port, while Galveston remained a symbol of both tragedy and resilience. Today, the 1900 Galveston Hurricane stands as the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history. It taught America that nature's power cannot be ignored, and that preparation saves lives. The storm changed the way the nation predicted and prepared for hurricanes, paving the way for the advanced warning systems we depend on today. The ocean remembers, and so should we. If this story moved you, like, share, and subscribe.